I don't have to explain too much about it being a crime. I do explain how I do aerosol art because they always love it. I like to do things that people like, not so much. Well, I enjoy it too. If I'm not gonna like it, I'm not gonna paint it. But I try to think about where I'm painting it.
But one last question. There obviously is a clear difference between what you do, which is art, and a lot of these tags.
Yeah, of course. I think, like, I could explain it in a way that it's explained in the streets. Basically, you need the tags. It's a progression. You start off as a tagger, and I started when I was 13, so you're a child. It's like a child stage. Then you get into doing bombs, which is like a 2-color with a 3D, and it's done quickly. It has to be done in a matter of seconds because they don't want to get caught. Then they get into doing, pieces, and then it gets to a level right here. I'm not necessarily saying that you have to do those steps, because I think that after doing it legally, I got to the place that I'm at now. I don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for practicing my craft and perfecting it. But it's just a natural progression. Obviously, tags is it's a nuisance, right? People don't want to see it, and it's ugly. And a lot of the times, I mean, I'm from Montreal, and I noticed in Toronto they like to do garage doors and houses. So that's new to me. I've never seen it. In the graffiti realm, there are rules. You don't do houses. You don't do churches or schools, like elementary schools. So it seems like nowadays it's going out the window, but at the same time there's more exemptions when it comes to legal stuff.
You say legal, but when you started, did you do it legally?
No, yeah, of course. I think when I started it was a form of expression. It was the best form of expression, especially from one of my friends who writes Fade. He claims that it saved his life, and I believe it. It kept him from being violent, fighting, because he can go into his sketchbook and get into that place. And then when he painted, it was as though he was alone in the world. Right. He didn't have to think about any stress.
But other people's homes, I mean.
Oh no, that's the thing. I'm not used to that. That's not the culture that I came from, like tagging homes. We started the Travel Bridges crew, and the name comes from the fact we used to do bridges, and a lot of it is abandoned. So we can go in the morning time and paint and not be in anyone's way, because you'd have to cut through forests, and some of the bridges were actually out in the open, but we just did those at night. We did like certain places that nobody cared, because what happens is, especially in Mississauga, if you do a house or like a building like I don't know, a dollar store, the city cleans it. It's not going to stay. So we wanted things that we can go back to and take pictures of and see it all the time. So we didn't do houses. It's a different vibe in Toronto, so I couldn't. I don't necessarily understand why they do houses. I guess since it's there, it's just right. It's not really a thought process. You just paint and you leave.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks, man.
That's
great. Appreciate that. Thanks. So, quick question. I mean, looking back, do you